Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel EduRay. So today we are going to learn how to balance chemical equation with 4 easy steps, and I'm going to give you plenty of examples to understand this rules very easily, and so that you can balance the chemical equations easily. Okay, so let's begin. So the step 1 says that list down the atoms. So let's understand this step 1 by an example. So ZnS plus O2 gives you ZnO plus SO2. So what you have to do here is that take a scale and make a column. So after that you have to write the elements. Zn, your zinc, then sulfur S and oxygen. Okay. So how many atoms of Zn is there on LHS side, means the reactant side, left hand side. RHS side means right hand side, which is the product side. So how many atoms of Zn is there? Only 1, right? 1. Sulfur, how many atoms? Only 1. Oxygen, how many atoms? 2 atoms. Here, how many Zn atoms? 1 atom. How many oxygen? So here oxygen is 1 and here it is 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. How many sulfur atoms? Sulfur atoms is 1. So like this, you have to list down the atoms on the LHS side and as well as on the RHS side, means the reactants and the product side. Okay, so this was the step 1. So the step 2 says that count the number of atoms. Now sometimes the reaction which is given is sometimes is already balanced. So it is really necessary to check whether the reaction is balanced or not. So how can we check it? By counting the number of atoms. What we had done, we had listed the atoms in step 1. Now step 2, count the atoms. So Zn is 1, here also 1, so this is balanced. Sulfur is 1, sulfur is 1, this is balanced. Now oxygen is 2 here and oxygen is 3 here. So means the reaction is not balanced. So always count the atoms, because sometimes before counting the atoms we start balancing the reaction, and what if the reaction was already balanced, right? So that mistake occurs. So always count the number of atoms before balancing, because it can be that the reaction is already balanced. Now in this reaction it is not balanced. So step 2, count the atoms. Now let's see the step 3. Step 3 says multiply across to balance. So let's understand the step. So in this, ZnS plus O2, ZnO plus SO2. So before understanding the step 3, it is really important to understand what is this and what are coefficients and subscript. So let's do that. So as you can see, this 2, these are known as subscripts, and here nothing is there, so we can write 1 for the time being. So this is known as coefficient. So this is a coefficient and this is a subscript. No coefficient was given, so always we have to assume the coefficient to be 1. So this is the coefficient. So multiply across to balance means we have to multiply to the coefficients. Understand this, that we can never change the subscript. मतलब जो सबस्क्रिप्ट होता है, जो ऑक्सीजन के नीचे है, जो एलिमेंट्स के नीचे जो सबस्क्रिप्ट होता है, उसे हम कभी चेंज नहीं कर सकते. इट इज़ यूनिवर्सल, इट विल रिमेन एज इट इज़. बट जो कोएफिशिएंट होते हैं हम उन्हें चेंज कर सकते हैं बाय मल्टीप्लाइंग, राइट? मतलब याद रखो, सबस्क्रिप्ट को कभी चेंज नहीं करना है. आप उसे 2 का 3 नहीं कर सकते, पर कोएफिशिएंट को हम दोनों साइड मल्टीप्लाई करके चेंज कर सकते हैं. So let's see how will we multiply in this case. In this reaction, ZnS plus O2 which gives you ZnO plus SO2. यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन का कितना है? 2 एटम्स है. यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन के 3 एटम्स है. तो अगर हम यहाँ पे 2O2 करते तो कितना हो जाएगा? 4 हो जाएगा. पर जो ZnO है उसमें 2 + 1 अभी भी 3 रहेगा, क्योंकि ये ऑड है. तो यहाँ पे ऑड की, ये ऑड है इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ पे भी 2 मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं. तो अब कितना हो जाएगा? 2 ऑक्सीजन और यहाँ पे भी 2, तो कितना हो जाएगा? 4. तो ऑक्सीजन यहाँ पे भी ऑक्सीजन 4 हो गया और यहाँ पे भी ऑक्सीजन 4 हो गया. अब यहाँ पे कितना है? Zn 2 हो जाता है और यहाँ पे Zn कितना है? 1 है. तो यहाँ पे भी 2 मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पे 2 Zn था, यहाँ पे भी 2 Zn हो गया. अब यहाँ पे सल्फर कितना हो जाता है? 2 सल्फर, राइट? 2 सल्फर, यहाँ पे सल्फर 1 है तो यहाँ पे 2 सल्फर कर देते हैं. तो अब देखते हैं वापस, 2 Zn हो गया, Zn यहाँ पे भी 2 है, 2 सल्फर, यहाँ पे भी सल्फर 2 है. अब ऑक्सीजन कितना है? 2 ऑक्सीजन और यहाँ पे 2 × 2 4 ऑक्सीजन, तो 4 + 2 5 6 ऑक्सीजन. तो अगर हम इसे 2 से 3 करेंगे तो हमारा रिएक्शन फिर बैलेंस हो जाएगा. देखते हैं ऑक्सीजन अब कितना हो जाएगा? अब ऑक्सीजन हो जाएगा 6, राइट? because 3 into 2 is 6, और यहाँ पे भी 2 into 2 4 and 4 plus 2 5 6. ऑक्सीजन इज बैलेंस्ड. वही हम लोग को एक कॉलम बना के सारे एटम्स लिखने हैं. Zn कितना है यहाँ पे? LHS की साइड पे Zn है 2. यहाँ पे कितना है Zn? 2 है, तो ये भी बैलेंस्ड है. और अब S कितना है? सल्फर भी 2 है. यहाँ पे सल्फर कितना है? यहाँ पे भी सल्फर 2 है. तो हमारा रिएक्शन बैलेंस हो गया. तो कैसे बैलेंस हुआ? मल्टीप्लाई अक्रॉस टू बैलेंस. सो जो स्टेप 3 है, हम उसे एक और नाम दे सकते हैं. यहाँ पे हम उसे एक और नाम दे सकते हैं विच इज़ चेंज द कोएफिशिएंट्स विच एवर नेम सूट्स टू यू. बिकॉज यहाँ पे देखो हमने क्या करा, यहाँ पे 1 था कोएफिशिएंट, उसको 2 कर दिया, 1 से 3 करा, 1 से 2 करा, और यहाँ पे 1 से 2 करा. तो यहाँ पे कोएफिशिएंट्स हम चेंज कर रहे हैं. तो स्टेप 3 को हम ये नाम भी दे सकते हैं, चेंज द कोएफिशिएंट्स, या फिर मल्टीप्लाई अक्रॉस टू बैलेंस. सो विच एवर विल बी ईजी फॉर यू टू रिमेंबर, अंडरस्टैंड दैट. You can either write this or you can either take this as the name of the step 3. It is on your choice because both names suits. Okay, now what is the step 4? It is last step. Let's see that. So the step 4 says check or confirm your answer. So we had balanced this reaction, but always confirm it. Okay, so how to confirm? Make a column. So Zn, how many atoms are there on the LHS side? 2 atoms. So write Zn 2 atoms. Now sulfur, how many atoms are there? 2 atoms. Sulfur 2 atoms. Oxygen, how many atoms are there? 3 into 2 6. So Zn 2, oxygen 6, and sulfur 2. Now on RHS side, product side, how many Zn atoms? So here also Zn is 2. Now how many sulfur atoms? Sulfur atoms only 2. Now oxygen, how many? So 2 over here, 2 into oxygen, then here 2 into 2 4. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So oxygen 6. So all these are equal, means the reaction is balanced. So always check or confirm your answer. So these were the 4 easy steps to balance a chemical equation. So if you all have understood the concept of balancing a chemical equation, if you have understood all these things, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to my channel EduRay to support me and encourage me to post such informative videos. Now let's look some more examples so that this concept can fit in your mind and you would be thorough with this concept. Now let's take another example. So the example is Na2CO3 plus CaSO4. This is sodium carbonate, which is also known as washing soda, plus CaSO4, which will give you CaCO3 plus Na2SO4. So here first, as we have to follow the same thing, make a column. What was the step 1? Step 1 was list down the atoms. So Na, how many Na? 2 Na. So 2. Now CO3, here also CO3 is there, here also CO3 is there, SO4 is there, SO4 is there. So you can take it as a radical only. You do not have to take it as separate element, C element, then oxygen, O element, then S element. So it will be time consuming. So you can take it as a separate radical. So write CO3. We are taking it as a radical. Here CO3 is 1. Now calcium, Ca is also 1. SO4 radical is also 1. Now here Ca, it is 1. CO3 radical is also 1. Na is how much? 2. Na is 2. SO4 is how much? 1. So as I had told you, there are some chemical equations which are already balanced, and this is one of the examples. You can see Na here is 2, here also Na is 2. CO3 is 1 on product side, or RHS also CO3 is 1. Ca1 and SO4 is 1. Here also SO4 is 1. So this is a chemical equation which is already balanced. Now if you would have not followed my steps, which the 4 steps I would have given, you would have directly started balancing it, then you would have ended up getting wrong answer because this equation is already balanced. Now let's do the third example. So the next example is iron Fe plus HCl hydrochloric acid, which gives you iron 2 chloride FCl2 plus H2 gas. Okay, so now we have to follow our steps. So the first step is list down the atoms. So Fe how many atoms? Fe atom is 1. H how many atoms? H atom is 1. Chlorine how many atoms? Chlorine atom is 1. Your Fe on the product, RHS side how many? 1 atom. H how many? 2 atom. And chlorine how many? 2 atom. So the second step was count the atoms. So we have counted the atoms. So this reaction is not balanced because H and chlorine atoms are different. Now what was the third step? Change the coefficients or multiply to balance, right? So how will we balance it? So if H is 1 over here, we have to do H2. So multiply 2, right? So 2HCl. Now is it balanced? Now H will become 2. Cl also will become 2, right? So it is balanced. So the reaction is balanced. What was the step for confirm? Fe1, Fe1, H2, H2, Cl2, Cl2. So yes, this reaction is balanced. Now let's take fourth example. So the next example is H2S hydrogen sulfide plus HNO3 nitric acid, which gives you water, H2O plus nitrogen dioxide, NO2 plus S, meaning sulfur. So here let's write down the atoms. So first is H, second is S, then nitrogen, and here oxygen. Now we cannot take NO3 as a radical because on RHS side there is no NO3 radical. Okay. Now here also what are the elements? H, then S, then N, and then O. So H, here H is 2 and here H is 1. So 2 plus 1, 3. Here S is 1. N is how much? 1. O is 3. Here H is 2. Sulfur is 1. Then oxygen is 3. And nitrogen is 1. Oxygen is 1 over here and 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. So now oxygen is balanced, nitrogen is balanced, sulfur is balanced. Only H is not balanced, right? So what we have to do over here is we have to balance H. So our step 1, list down the atoms, done. Step 2, count the number of atoms, done. Now step 3 is multiply across or change the coefficients. So let's do that. HNO3, which gives you H2O plus NO2 plus S. So here we have to balance H. So let's see how will we balance it. Okay. So how we need on RHS side either to be 3 or greater than 3. So if we multiply here 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. It would be 4. So now oxygen will also increase. Oxygen would be also 4. So let's multiply here 2. Okay. Now oxygen would be how much? Oxygen would be 6. And here oxygen is 4. And now N would become 2. 2, right? N is 2. So here also let's multiply 2. So here also now N will become 2. Here also N has become 2. Now let's count. H is 2, right? H is 2. Here and then here also H is 2. So 2 plus 2, 4. Here H is also 4. Now 3 into 2, 6. 2 into O is 2 and 2 into 4. So oxygen is also balanced. So the reaction is balanced. Let's see how. So what I did, I will tell you. First, I will again write it. HNO3, which gives you H2O plus NO2 plus S. Your hydrogen was 2 and your hydrogen was 3. So I multiplied 2 over here. First step I did this. So when I multiplied, H over here was 3 and here H was 4. Now I did not want to change this because अगर मैंने ये change करा फिर सल्फर का भी change होगा. तो फिर मैंने यहाँ पर 2 मल्टीप्लाई करा. तो अब यहाँ पे कितना हो जाएगा 2 और 2 तो H4 हो गया. तो अब H को काट के 4 हो गया, H4 हो गया, H बैलेंस हो गया. पर यहाँ पर नाइट्रोजन 1 है, राइट? यहाँ पे नाइट्रोजन 1 है, पर अभी 2 मल्टीप्लाई करा है तो नाइट्रोजन कितना हो जाएगा? 2 हो जाएगा. तो नाइट्रोजन इम्बैलेंस हो गया, तो नाइट्रोजन 2 हो गया. तो अब नाइट्रोजन को बैलेंस करने के लिए मैंने यहाँ पे भी 2 मल्टीप्लाई करा. तो अब ऑक्सीजन यहाँ पे कितना हो जाएगा? 6 हो जाएगा ऑक्सीजन. 3 इंटू 2 6. यहाँ पे कितना हो जाएगा ऑक्सीजन? 2 ईयर एंड 2 इंटू 2 4. 4 प्लस 2 is 6. ऑक्सीजन इज 6. अब यहाँ पे सल्फर कितना था? 1. यहाँ पे भी सल्फर 1 है. सो द रिएक्शन इज बैलेंस्ड. सो दिस वर द 4 एग्जाम्पल्स. If you want to understand this concept with many more such examples, I will post videos link in the description box, in which I have given many examples, so that this concept is thorough in your mind and it gets fit in your mind. I will post a video in which I have explained many such examples, so please do watch that video. I will post its link in the description box, so do watch that video, and please subscribe to my channel EduRay to support me, and so that I can post such informative videos. Do like the video, do share the video with your friends and family, and please comment what video would you like for me to make. Okay, so please do that. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.